Hi everybody, it's Mr. Ing, and today we are going to create a landscape. Do you guys remember the word landscape? Landscape is open space! But we're creating a landscape, a sculpture, actually, out of torn paper, kind of. And it's 3D. See, it has different layers to it. And we are creating these different hills and mountains by ripping the paper, but we're also coloring it monochromatic. That's a very important art word. Have you heard that before? Monochromatic. That means different tones of the same color. So in this one, my monochromatic color is blue, and there's different shades or different tones of blue, dark to medium to light to white. And so this is a way we can practice using tone or value in our artwork. Now, at the end of the video, I'll also show you how we can get this sculpture to stand up by itself on the table by folding the bottom of it. So hopefully you can see it standing up by itself too. There's kind of cool, and that'll work nicely with the shadows. You can see it being three-dimensional. Okay, let's get started. To start this project, grab 2 pieces of paper. It could even be notebook paper, and a crayon or a color pencil, whatever color you like. You're going to take your paper, stack one on top of the other, and then fold them in half, line up the edges. And you should have something that kind of resembles a book with 4 pages. Then you're going to take 2 pages, 1, 2, and we're going to fold them. We're going to leave just a teeny bit of space right there as we fold these pages back. And then I'm going to crease the edge. Now watch. Before you fold it, take a look. See, this is what's happening. So I had it like this. I'm folding it down so it's creased just a teeny bit like that. Okay? Now I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. I'm going to try to line it up. It doesn't have to be perfect though. And crease it again this way. And you'll know you got it when you look at the side and you see kind of forms an M shape, right? If you turn it this way, it's a W shape, right? Like that. So you're going to take your papers and keep them together and look for that W shape. Make sure the top is where it opens up. Okay, so we're gonna lay it down on our table, but the top part should be opening up. So again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. So this is the part where we're gonna start coloring, but we have to pay attention because we're gonna create a monochromatic tones. We're gonna color on 3 pages. We're gonna leave the very last page blank. We're gonna leave the very last page blank. So on this first page, we're gonna color the darkest that we can. And we're gonna pretty much color the whole page, okay? So to color darker, you're gonna press down with your crayon or your color pencil. I would not recommend using a marker because for the other parts, a marker won't work as well. All right, so that's my darkest blue. I'm gonna flip to the second page, and I accidentally got a little bit of crayon on the other pages, that's okay. I'm gonna flip to the second page, and I want it to be like a medium blue. So I'm going to color, but not quite as hard as the dark. Okay, I'm not gonna quite as hard. I'm gonna color like medium, so I'm not pressing as hard. I'm gonna color this whole page too. You don't have to worry about the top quite so much because some of that is gonna be ripped off, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, you can see this one's dark. This one's a little bit lighter, okay? So that's my medium blue, or my medium tone of value in my color. Now this is where it gets tricky. We're gonna make the last layer the lightest one. Actually, I do have to, there we go. So I'm gonna flip over here, and I did get some scribbles accidentally. This is my third one, and then this is my last one. I'm gonna leave that one white, and I'm going to color this one. I'm gonna color it as light blue as I possibly can with my crayon. I'm barely touching it. It is leaving some color on there, but it's very faint. It's very hard to see, right? And that's okay. That's what we're going for. Now, this little bit here I accidentally got when I was coloring the first page, and it kind of accidentally scribbled a little bit of blue from the top when I accidentally slipped underneath. I think I can cover this up as I'm tearing my paper to form mountains. So I think this is a mistake that I can live with this time. So what you should have is you should have your almost kind of like book, right? And the first layer is dark blue. The second layer is medium. And the last layer is the lightest color. I guess if you used a different color besides blue, that's fine. But dark, medium, light tones, right? That's our value scale. And then the last page is completely white. So this first page, we're gonna rip it, and it's gonna be the shortest. So when I rip my paper, it's gonna be the closest to this edge, okay? This is gonna be in the middle, and this is gonna be the highest. When I rip it, my rip is gonna be closer to this edge. That way, each time you can see the layer behind it. If this layer gets ripped really high, then it'll cover up most of what I tear back here. So this is the bottom. And the front layer is closer to this edge. So I'm going to, when you rip your paper, you can use your other hand to kind of hold a spot. That way it won't go out of control. And I'd like to just say rip a little bit at a time, go slow, take your time. And it's okay, it doesn't have to be a nice straight line because these are mountains. And they kind of create different shapes. You can create different landscape shapes as you rip your paper. Okay, so that's my first layer right here. Now I'm going to create my next layer. I'm going to aim for ripping it somewhere here in the middle. I do have to aim a little bit higher and see if I can cover up this section right here near the back when I get down there. And if parts of it do get covered up, that's okay as long as you can see some of it as you're ripping it. So I'm going to go nice and slow. So I'm going to come down and come back up. If there's a lot of change in up and down, that'll kind of make it more interesting, won't it? All right, let's see if I can cover up some of this. There you go, that's not too bad. Down and then come back up. Get some mountains. Cool, okay. And then I can also see some of that white background too. So now you can see your whole value scale. You can see the darkest tone, medium, light, white, how it gradually changes from dark to light. The cool thing about this is hopefully you were able to, with this W fold, you can make your paper stand up as well. I'm going to show you another trick. We're going to try to fold this one more time. Okay, so if you are able to, you're going to take, you're going to have it down like this. You're going to fold the back, so you only see the back two layers, the lightest layer and the background. And then I'm going to look for a spot right about here to crease it one more time. Just a little bit. And then what I did, as you can see, I creased a bump. Oops. So you can see I creased so that this section is flat here. So I added an extra fold here. So now it should stand up. So now when I'm looking at my landscape, I can see my different layers and I can see my change in tone from light to dark. It looks like I have different rows of mountains or hills in the background. If you want to draw like a roads or buildings or trees or add some more detail to your background or to your different layers of hills, that would be really awesome too. And that's it. That is our monochromatic value torn paper landscape. A lot of words to say. Basically, you just made a 3D sculpture.